She walked into the Marine training hall like she didn't belong, but every hardened Marine suddenly went silent. No rank on her chest, no uniform, just calm eyes that looked like they'd seen more than any of them ever would. And when the USMC captain jokingly asked for her call sign, her answer made the entire room freeze and question everything they thought they knew. Were you watching from the country? Drop your state in the comments. Title: USMC captain jokingly asked a woman her call sign, until Sticky Six made him freeze. The Marine Corps dining hall buzzed with the usual mix of early morning chatter, clattering trays, and a low rumble of boots on tile. It was another long training day at Camp Harborside, and the Marines were already sizing up the incoming civilian observers. Most were defense analysts, journalists, or contractors, people who came to study the Corps but had never tasted the grit of it. But one woman immediately stood apart. She was quietly confident, wearing a simple blue blouse and jeans, her blonde hair falling neatly over her shoulders. She carried herself like someone who didn't need attention to command respect. The Marines glanced at her, trying to place her. Some thought she looked too calm. Others thought she looked too familiar. Captain Ross Mitchell noticed her too. Tall, broad-shouldered, and infamous for his sharp humor. He nudged the gunnery sergeant beside him. "Watch this," he smirked. "Let's see who she is." He approached her table, where she sat eating quietly, completely unfazed by the line of uniformed men staring at her like she'd walked onto a battlefield in sandals. "You must be with the observers," Captain Mitchell said, folding his arms. "We usually start by getting call signs." "So," he widened his grin, "what's yours?" Several Marines snickered behind him. It was meant to be a light joke, a little hazing to start the day. But instead of looking intimidated, she lifted her eyes slowly, deliberately, like she was deciding whether to answer. Then she said it. "Sticky Six." The room went dead silent. Forks froze midair. Even the usually stone-faced Master Sergeant blinked. Captain Mitchell's smirk vanished. "No," he muttered under his breath. "No way." Because Sticky Six wasn't a normal call sign. It wasn't funny. It wasn't random. It belonged to a classified special operations legend, one whose missions were whispered about, not documented. Someone who once rescued a full squad of Marines from an ambush behind enemy lines using nothing but improv tactics, a broken radio, and what Marines later called impossibly reckless courage. Sticky Six was a ghost story in uniform. A myth. And she did not look like a myth. "Prove it," Mitchell said, though fear cracked in his voice. She didn't respond with a badge or an ID. Instead, she spoke a string of coordinates, ones only someone with level 6 clearance would ever know. The air felt heavier. Several Marines shifted uncomfortably. Then Colonel Harris entered, the base commander. He saw her, stopped, and saluted. The entire hall froze again. "Ma'am," Harris said with a respectful nod. "We weren't expecting you until next week." Captain Mitchell looked like someone had dumped ice water down his spine. He immediately came to attention, face draining of color. She smiled politely. Plans changed. Harris turned to the stunned Marines. "For those who don't know," he announced, "this is Dr. Elise Carter, former Joint Special Operations Liaison, tactical strategist, and recipient of 2 classified commendations I cannot mention here." Mitchell swallowed hard. Harris continued, "She's here to evaluate our cross-branch coordination procedures. Treat her with the respect she's earned." But that wasn't even the twist. Just then, a young Marine recruit rushed forward, nearly breathless. "Ma'am, your drone footage from yesterday, it saved my squad. If you hadn't overridden the route," his voice cracked, "we wouldn't be here." Her expression softened for the first time. "That's why we do what we do," she replied. The hall filled with murmurs of awe. Elise Carter, Sticky Six, had already been working behind the scenes, unseen, protecting Marines who had no idea they owed their lives to her. Captain Mitchell stepped forward, guilt flooding his face. "Ma'am, I didn't know. I shouldn't have." She raised a hand gently. "Captain, respect isn't about knowing who someone was. It's about treating everyone like they matter." The room fell silent again, but this time with admiration. Then the colonel delivered the final blow. She will be leading today's advanced tactical simulation. Anyone who doubts her experience will learn quickly why her call sign is feared and respected in every joint command. Mitchell's jaw tightened, not with anger, but with determination. Then, with your permission, ma'am, I like to learn from the best. Her faint smile returned. Good, because today, Captain, we push you harder than you've ever been pushed. And just like that, the legend of Sticky Six became real. Not a whisper, not a myth, standing right there in the dining hall, ready to redefine what every Marine thought possible. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this story. Make sure to subscribe for more dramatic military narratives. Your support helps us bring you even better stories every week.